Good evening and welcome to another episode of Sistah Girls Nite In. I have with me Miss Alexandria House, one of my faves. How are you today, Miss House?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
No problem. Oh, it's an honor. Trust me. We this is I'm so excited. You are definitely one of my favorites. So,
Oh,
can you
thank
tell us a
you.
little about yourself?
Um, sure. I am a former RN turned full-time smut peddler, and I'm from the deep south, as you can tell by my accent. Um, Divorced mother of three grown folks, so I have an empty nest, and I'm having the time of my life. Um, I love what I do. I love writing these stories. I know I've written over 30. I've stopped counting. I need to count. Over 30 books. I think we're at 7 series now. I think. I'm not sure. Um, Most notably known for the McLean Brothers series in Big
Mhm.
South. And I just recently wrapped up my hockey series, the St. Louis Sires, and my next series begins in June. I will be releasing my first dark romance. Um, the series is the Three Kings, and the
Three
Three Kings are three
kids.
sisters, the King sisters. And the first sister, Lilith, book will drop June 18th.
You let me tell you, it's crazy you said dark romance because I was just doing a chat with Val from Brown Sugar Reads, and she
Mm-hmm.
said I want to read a dark romance, and we were just like wrecking our brains trying to find out who to go to, and the fact that you just said that, I'm excited now. So good. That I promise you, we just brought that up about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was
So
fun
you,
to write. I will recommend. I don't know if you've read "Unfortunately Francine" by John Vassar. That's
yes,
a very good dark romance.
yes, yeah. Did a little John. I haven't read that one, but I've read Black and actually I got her from your page. You used to talk about the Pantoons and things like that, and it, yeah, you
I
rolling.
was a sketch
So
for a couple of minutes.
yeah, so I went and read it because of you actually. So
Oh,
that's a good
good.
recommendation. Speaking of that, you recommend a lot of authors. Like you are a girl's girl. You really
I
give props
am.
to the other authors, and like you don't you hold a fort down. Like you have
I
your own
try.
brand, but then you definitely promote other authors. And a lot of times we love to see it.
Yeah, I try. Because listen, romance readers are very ravenous. As ain't no way I can keep you fed. So if I can bring you some recommendations, I will. It's only one me. It's only so much I can do. So yeah, I'm always recommend some good books.
Yeah. So with your series, so I know the McCain brothers are like a lot of people's favorites. However, my mind, and I started with the McCain. No, actually, I started with Shoe Set and Jaw.
Oh, them
That's where I
boys.
started my journey with you. And then of course fell in love with the McClain brothers. But when you wrote that basketball series, that's when I was so
Oh,
I definitely that is my favorite by you
oh,
actually.
thank
And
you.
yes, and then I remember when you were talking about personal when you were bringing that out and you said our mom was going to be, and I remember I came in your inbox, I'm like, we are not worthy, cuz I just knew you were going to bring it with that, and you did. That book was so good. Oh my god.
Thank
I
you.
loved it. So, me and my girlfriend, we share what my friend girl, we share a Audible account,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
I had the books on there, and she likes the, murder, murder, kill, kill. So the romance she frowns at. So she texted me. She was like, Maisha, I am in the car. I don't want to leave from my break because I'm on Alexandria House, and baby, she is nasty. She was like, and I love. She did not want to go, but she was like she was rushing on break, like literally going to her car to just listen
Oh, oh
because
wow.
that's how intrigued she. And then we ended up downloading the. I only had I had the McLean brothers on there, and then I
Mhm.
had your basketball series. So we went and used the credits to download the hockey, and that's
Yeah.
what we were. That's the last thing we were on. But baby, when I tell you, I was so happy that she liked them because she don't like nothing without
Oh
violence.
wow.
So you
Wow.
turn her on to that, and I said I told you like she's a really good author. So she went back and read your previous books and
Oh.
went for it.
Well,
So
tell her thank you and thank you for having the books on there so she would try it.
yes, and I love that one. But can we talk about Flagrant?
As long as you don't cuss me out. I done got cussed out about flagrant enough times.
So with Flagrant, it's like my mind was so blown because it's like you know how you're not you. I think you just gave us that ending, and it just like was one of them mind blown books. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, this is not his baby. And on one hand, you like he deserve it, but on the other hand, you like, oh my god, he got to deal with this for the rest of his life. Ah,
Well, she has to deal with what he did for the rest of her life. So
exactly, exactly. And then it was the fact that all that and the the model or the IG model, whatever she was, came and said it was a social experiment to get out of this loss. I was like, you ruined his life and
yeah.
used that it was a social
Mhm.
that book right there, oh my god, that book was so that series right there, I think that was, to me, that's my favorite. I know a lot of people love the McLean brothers. That
Yeah.
is my favorite series by you.
Well, thank you. I enjoyed writing that series. I really did.
I'm glad
Especially
you did.
personal probably was the best time I had though. I had some fun writing personal.
Yeah, because I think everybody wanted a chain that said "sir." Like we were on the bandwagon. We were ready. Like you
Yeah.
understand? I like it had me like wow, like to
Mhm.
have someone like you as violent as him just submit to you. That
Mhm.
that was a work of art. I'm not
Oh,
gonna
thank
lie. Like I
you.
think I'm gonna hang up with you and go read it again because
Shoot, you
that
gonna
book
make me
was
go listen to it.
exactly. It was so good. I love that. And I
Oh.
read it when you were dropping it on I think it was Book Funnel. So every time you
Mhm.
were dropping it before you did Kindle, you were dropping it and I was buying it that way. So
Yeah.
I was reading them before you brung it to Kindle and Audible. I was doing
Yeah.
that way. But did not disappoint.
Well,
And
thank you. I appreciate you.
no problem. So also you did during the pandemic and a little after the pandemic you did book boxes, and
Mhm.
I grabbed a few.
Mhm.
um I loved them. Well, I was a big fan of book boxes, especially during the pandemic. So
Yeah.
I love the boxes that
Mhm.
you did, especially the one with the Romney U. That was
Yeah.
well put together.
Thank
And I
you.
think you got so many compliments because it was just so neat and organized, and it was really, really nice. So I
Oh,
love the Romney U one the best.
oh, thank
But
you.
are you doing any more?
I want to. I just have so much going on. It's so much going on right now. I have so many projects that I've committed to, and now I'm sitting around like, so I got to write them now. So, I legit need to write like 3 more books before the year is up.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I'm just,
Eh,
I'm just, I've got a lot going on, and it's not just that because it's like the business side of everything.
mhm.
I do have a business partner that really handles the business stuff because I absolutely hate it, but I still have to be present and okay stuff. And there's just a lot going on. But I really
So,
do want to. What I think I'll do is that I have a Patreon. I think I'll do the boxes over there, so that I don't. It'll just be a
oh,
few.
okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it there, but my mind is so stretched now that I have to
Mm.
think of what I want to put in it. I was thinking about a Sire's box, so maybe I'll do that. We shall
And
see.
I'm in your on Instagram your chat. So I saw
Mhm.
that the books that you had coming out on Patreon when you announced it on
Yeah,
there. So that, whoo, I'm ready. It's gonna be a real good summer. A real good summer.
Listen, this dude crazy. Is all I'm gonna say.
Are you doing any events?
I am this year. I'm doing One Love reunion in July. I'm doing Lights Camera Action in August. So that's all I'm doing this year. Next year, I'm doing Monica Walters' event.
The books. I'm gonna be there.
Look, she said something. She said something about some cowboys. I'm sorry.
That is
I love
exactly.
to see me a black man on a horse with a cowboy hat. I got to be there. Um, and then my event is next summer. My house party. We do that every 2 years
Hmm.
because it takes a lot to do it. So,
Yes.
and it'll be in Charlotte in about the end of July.
Okay. That'll be a good one. Yeah, I'm going definitely going to go to that one. I missed your last one in.
Oh no, it was such a good
I
time.
know, my
Yeah.
God. I missed
Yeah.
it. And I heard like it was people said it was so organized, such a great event. And
Yes,
that's
it's an
one thing about
experience.
you with with organization. Like you really keen on that.
I
So I
am.
love it.
I
I
am. I
love
can't
it.
handle disorganization. I can't handle it. So, and I have a really, really good event planner who is the same. She's so good, and I can really be. I mean, of course, I had to make the decisions and okay things, but I can trust that it's not going to be a mess with her at the helm. So, we work well together. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
gonna.
I
Oh,
am.
and it's gonna be centered around the cyclones.
Oh, oh, well, I'm definitely there. Definitely.
Yeah.
So, are you doing any more sports? Any more teams?
I want to the way my schedule is set up. I'm doing these sisters this series because I the way my brain works. I got to finish a series before I move on. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do the sisters, and then I have a motorcycle club I'm doing next year. All the all the men are over 50,
Oh.
and it's not one of those friendly like a motorcycle club. So we're doing that. As a matter of fact, these sisters are all over 40 that I'm doing. And then after that, I'm actually doing a sapphic series, a lesbian series. So,
Uh-huh.
and then after that,
Well,
I
you
want to
already
I
got
want
down.
to do sport, another sport.
Oh my gosh. I'm looking forward to these releases. What has been your favorite to write so far? Do you like writing about the men or the women?
Both. But I think I've been told I do the men really well.
Yes.
So in a lot of ways, it's easier to write
Mm-hmm.
when it's a men, probably because I write people I want to have sex with. I don't know. Um, because I ain't gonna write it if I don't want him. So, um, but my favorite, it's probably always going to be the last thing I finish because I think as I write, I grow as a writer. Um,
Yes.
I like to challenge myself. If I keep writing the same thing over and over again, I'll burn out. If I burn out, I'll just quit. Because when listen, I had some nursery jobs that don't make no sense because I just burn out and quit, get another one. So this is like the longest career I've had that I didn't quit and try something else. So maybe I'll quit. You just don't know.
Mhm.
So um I think when I challenged myself, because I challenged myself with this last book, because I was like, dang, I'm having to like think hard to write this book.
Is this your first dark romance?
I would to this extent, I think. I consider them boys dark, like dark light.
Which
Uh, now the thing is, I think I had to embrace what a dark romance is, but also make it an Alexandria House dark romance. So there's some
mhm.
certain places I'm not gonna go. There's certain I'm not gonna some boundaries I'm just not gonna push. So ain't gonna be no guns up no coochies or nothing like that. It ain't gonna be that. It ain't gonna be. I think I struggled with that. I was like, well, it's dark if I'm not making him just be horrible. But
Mhm.
he ain't a good person. Don't get me wrong. But I just decided I'm gonna have to do it my way. So I don't know if everybody, I don't know if dark romance fans are going to like it like they would like something really super taboo, but we'll see.
And it's 3 books.
hmm that's my rule now. After the McLeans wore me out, I did y'all.
It
Absolutely
won't
not.
get us.
All the rest of the family's gonna have 3 kids. I'm sorry, it's just that's the way it is.
Oh my God!
The
So can we
McLeans
get any?
told me up. You hear
Can we
me?
can we get any spoilers? Any character names? Any background on them?
The 3 sisters are Lilith, Memphis, and Umber.
And
Lilith,
Lilith is the first book, right?
yeah, she's a middle
Okay.
child.
Oh.
Umber's the baby, and Memphis is the very mean oldest sister. They are the daughters of a legendary blues singer, and
Mm.
their mother's deceased. The father is he's in an interesting relationship, and Lilith is leaving a long term relationship when she runs into Ray. I can't tell you how she runs into Ray. I just tell you that Ray is a complete fool, and Ray gets and does what he wants. I just want to say that. And they are and they have a lot of sex in this book. It was so much. So I was like, yeah, dog, we doing it again? Okay. I'll record it for you. Let me type, but so yeah, it's a very, I think it's a very sexy book. It's an age gap. She's older.
Oh, she's older. Okay. Mm.
She's older, but he, believe me, he's the dominant party in the relationship. And
Wow.
it was just fun. I had so much fun. I had so much fun writing his crazy tale. He was so crazy, but I enjoyed it. It must be some of me in him, so I enjoyed it. And the sister, I really can't say much about her book because I'll
Yeah.
read book one, so you'll know who and what she is, and then
Hmm.
you'll understand the dynamic of her book. But yeah, so I'm planning on trying to release all 3 this year. I also um have signed on to do another Roma U book.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Yeah. Sure.
so I got to at some point in time write that this year.
Mhm.
Um, and so yeah, that's about as much as I can tell you about Lilith. Yeah, I think it's good. My betas have enjoyed it so far. So
Also, I read the books first, and I don't know why. I have to read it first, and then I do Audible.
mhm,
So I do love Jacoby. The way he embodies those men.
mhm.
Is that your? I mean, I don't want to turn any other, narrator, but is that just your go-to him?
He, of course, we started working together in Let Me Love You with the McLean brothers,
Yes.
which was not produced by me. It was produced by a company, and they just came to me. He literally auditioned. He read a portion of the book, and I was like, "Oh, that's big stuff right there." So, I loved his voice. I still love his voice, and so I feel very fortunate that he's voiced so many characters for me.
Yes.
However, he will not be voicing characters for this series because of the company that's doing it. I'm not doing it this time.
Okay.
Company is he doesn't work with that company, so
Oh,
he will not be. But yeah, I love it. Listen, I just love working
I
with him.
love his voice,
He
and
has a voice. It's almost eerie how well he interprets what I write. It's almost like he was in my head when I was writing it. I don't give
mm,
him notes or anything. He just go
he just
Wesley either though. They just go with it.
Yeah, she's
Uh,
amazing. She's
yeah.
amazing as well. In Gold, it was one line that he said, and even though I knew it was coming, it was like, "Can I have sex with you?" When he was talking to Nuri, and I'm just like, that line right there. I don't know.
So many of the things he said. I mean, and I know I wrote them, but when I hear him say them, I'm like,
It's like right. It's like I knew it was coming because but when I read it in my voice.
yeah,
But to hear him to say that line out loud, I promise you, I was so tickled because it just
yeah,
sounded so. It's like okay, so this is the man. version of it. He just sounded
Yeah.
so, and it was like one of them. Are you serious right now? But he was so serious. Can I have sex?
I love
Or can we have sex now?
I love listen. He tickled me so bad in assist some of the stuff I had him saying as forward. I was hollering like I didn't write the book. I was like, Ford is stupid.
Oh, when he does Uncle Lee, oh my God. And
Yes.
that's what I wanted to go to in assist when he was like, are you are Albanian? And she was like, and she's
No,
like, I'm albino. And he was like, well, you rap like a black girl. And I was like, oh my God.
him calling her Bronco Tina.
He called Albanian. I was done. I said, he done gay. Lord,
I thought you was just light skinned.
that was so funny. And he is, I can, every time we know he's coming up, it's just like, I almost like try to embrace what he's going to say because I know he's going to say something
You
so
know it's gonna be wrong.
great. Yes, he gonna say it wrong. He gonna spell it wrong. He gonna talk about his Kimmy in a group text messages when they talking to him, and the only person he acknowledges is Kimmy. We
Kimmy.
already know he coming with it. So it's like every book he just get funnier
Yeah,
and funnier,
I love
which
right
you
what
don't think is possible.
Yeah, I try to fit him in. I say I always try to fit him into a book if it makes sense for him to be show up.
And
Um,
it made sense. He was the on the grill. That's the best place for him to be.
yeah, he's everybody's favorite. He is.
Yes. And his
Scene
IG
killer.
page that you have is another one where oh
I got to get back on Uck's page. I've been so busy. But
yeah.
but honestly, when I do stuff like that, it just pops
Mhm.
into my head. I don't plan it. So even like when I
Oh
do the text messages and the social media posts, I would just someone just popped my head. I said, okay, let me do it real quick and post it. So and something did pop my head for him not long ago, and I just never got around to posting it. But I'm gonna get back on
yeah, I love him. I
Yeah.
really do. So with I want to talk about your last book, Assist.
Hmm.
Um the albino rapper, not Albanian, albino. The Miss House, the when you said the song was called Coochie Juice, I
See,
was
and the thing is, this y'all fault. Y'all let me just write anything. Y'all don't try to stop me. Don't nobody try to reel me in. Don't nobody read this say Miss House. Stop writing this stuff. Nobody. Y'all just let me do it.
I read that. I said, "Oh my god! Like this lady is hilarious." But it's in that book, and I love that you brought up the basically it's hypocrisy with what a male rapper can talk about and what when a female rapper takes a hold of her sexuality, embraces it, showcases it. She's a hoe. It don't belong in hip hop,
Mhm,
whatever, whatever. But then
mhm.
you wrong go. You like slob on my knob by 3 6 Mafia. Like
Yeah.
these are songs we jam into, and basically
Mhm.
he's telling you what to do to, and it's
Yeah.
considered hip hop.
Mhm.
But a woman describes that same act on her and it's trash. She's
Yeah.
poisoning these young girls, and I'm
Then
like,
what
do
y'all
y'all
do
understand?
it?
Do y'all understand?
Mhm.
And then I like how you brought out Two Live Crew, and you literally just, I mean, what I've been thinking, like, it was a Drake and Future song when he's like chicken wings and fries. We don't go on dates, like,
Yeah.
and it's like this is hip hop, but a woman say, I don't want to go out and just want chicken wings and fries, and look what you poisoning, and I'm like,
Yeah. It was a lot of this. I started really thinking about that when WAP came out because folks lost their mind over WAP.
oh
And
my
I
god,
thought men have said much worse stuff. So what are y'all upset about? You
really.
know? Well, yeah.
And I think they're scared of women. Just again, like how we took back the word bitch. They're mad at us taking
Hmm.
back the word hoe. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be what I want to. I'm gonna get this money. I'm gonna
Yeah.
run through you just like how y'all do me. And it's, like, oh my God, who
Yeah. What
raised
you gonna
her?
do about it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
my big thing with my writing, especially, is for women to embrace their
mhm,
sexuality, embrace it, and love their bodies, and not be afraid of having sex, and not have a problem with enjoying sex, because
yeah.
that's another thing. But we're not supposed to enjoy it, and not supposed to expect to enjoy it, and just take what we can get. Nah, I want listen. I need regular orgasms. I don't care. So,
Hmm.
um, I really hope that my readers can take that away from the books.
And I like that, you have different types of women because Nuri was considered plus size and
Hmm.
Malik was still attracted to her sexually, physically, like
Hmm.
he loved her.
Yeah.
And the fact that she embraced his brother and sister, you know,
Hmm.
uh, that was another plus. She had a heart of gold, and sometimes in this book particularly, it showed how you don't have to be a size 6 model, which she wasn't. She had her flaws, she had the things that she was struggling with, but he didn't let that
Hmm.
detour him from wanting to be with her. Nah, that was a romance book that was just easy flowing, easy going. It didn't give me anxiety, like like how I think your basketball series is just drama, 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 and then hockey, you kind of
Yeah.
slowed it down for us to get back into it, and then you gonna just jump on our head again with a dark romance. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing, but there has to be a balance. So I think you balanced us
I
with
try, and
the
I try to
with
balance within the book. I
yeah.
try to give you some laughs, some emotion, some sex. I honestly, I do that more for me than anybody writing it.
Hmm.
I can't stay in certain headspaces a whole book, so yeah, I try to balance it out.
And another one you had, which was holding. And it's like how you start off the book with them ranking each other. I say this can only be Alexandria House. The way the way you start off your books, it's like it's always know you gonna drag me through the mud.
My bad.
Oh my God. But how you started off that book with them bickering and just showing how they started off, that was I loved it.
Oh,
That
thank
was
you.
that was a different. I don't think you started a book off like that with the
No,
flashback where you showing how they didn't get along when they was younger. So I
yeah,
I
that
liked
that
it.
was the first time. Yeah, that was the first time I had taken it that far. Be with me kind of, it doesn't go back and forth like that, but it is like they were childhood. It flashes back a few times.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think Holding's the only one that goes back that far in the characters' lives.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. I think in Gold, you did it with his child when his dad kicked him out
Yeah, yeah,
in the
yeah.
back, but that it wasn't as much.
Hmm. I like
Yeah.
doing that too, though. I like the playing with the timeline. I know some people really don't, some
Mhm.
readers don't, but I like it. It would, like I said, I'm always trying to not to get burnt out and do things that challenge me, and also make it a fun experience for me and make me have to think through what I'm doing. So to make it just linear where I start when they were kids and just move up and not go back and forth would bore me. So that's why I do it that way.
And you always stay away from boring.
I
You
try.
gonna give us a hell of an ending. That's one thing you gonna do. You gonna jaw drop the ending. I will say that.
I
Far
try.
from boring. Like if you are in, you want a thrill where you gonna get a ending where you like, okay, most authors go to door A or door B. She's gonna take you through X, Y, and Z. Those are doors you walking through. And I love it because you never know what to expect. Just when you think you figured out, you like, that sounds boring. Let me do this. And
Yeah.
that's one of the,
Yeah,
the
I try
things
to
I
I
enjoy.
try to think ahead of y'all. Whatever you think is
Hmm.
gonna happen, I try to pick something different. So yeah.
and and also with Armand, and I want to go back to him because you know, it's hard to take a character that everyone hated
Mm-hmm.
and then just make him lovable. And that's
Yeah.
what you did. Like I'm like, he was just, he's just one of them characters where you like, okay, I hope he gets help. The
Yeah.
end. But for you to bring him back and then put him with Ella, that was like one of them. Like when you said who was gonna be, I'm like, oh my god, I was ready for that. So when I found out it was them two and it was BDSM where he's the submissive, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I was
You like, what are
that
you
book.
doing?
Y'all don't understand. That book was that damn good to where it was just 5 stars across. That whole series is 5 stars. But that book right there was literally it was just beyond that. It was something that I
Oh,
enjoy reading, and because you rarely read about a character that you hate about, and you
yeah.
go to love him.
Yeah.
And Big South, them, they still remembered who we saw him evolve. They
Mm-hmm.
still remember him from when he was beating on Kim. Nah,
Yeah.
not my daughter.
You like,
You
not
know,
my baby.
exactly.
But his
But
baby was what wasn't no baby. So
hello, and to see both of them evolve, but to see both of them evolve like that is number one.
hmm
But to
hmm
see her, because I wouldn't have expected what I read from her. I
yeah.
wouldn't expected that from Ella. Like, no. and and to know what she had been through with losing her abusive boyfriend,
Yeah.
it was, man, that book was so well written.
Thank you. I
I, I,
thought so too.
that's my favorite book ever by you.
Oh wow.
That
Thank you.
right there. And it's crazy because I start with recommending that series, and I'm like, but God, they gotta see where he came from, so I gotta send them back to the McLeans so they
Yeah.
can
And
read
when
about
I
him.
wrote it, I didn't even realize there was like a McLean crossover. I didn't see it that way. I just saw it as this is his and her story. And when everybody kept saying it's a McLean crossover, I said, yeah, it is, isn't it?
Hmm.
I didn't think of it that way. But yeah.
Yes. And Leland, he's so funny. Even Paul, when
Yeah.
he walked up on Paul, when Paul was walking down the street, looking, he like, Just go home.
Get your big ass back in that car.
It's like he in pain, boy. Paul was in pain, and Leland was like, bro, you the biggest thing on the street. Take your like the neighbors see you. They can't miss you. Stop it.
Look,
That was
this ain't
yeah,
fit
that
pick
was
that.
exactly. They're gonna be able to pick you out of the lineup. Like, come on.
Yeah.
But that was unnecessary. And I know I'm going back and forth with the books, but I just didn't expect that from Kendra. She was so timid and so
Yeah. Kendra upset a lot of people.
yeah. So when you went back to that flashback to where they actually did it, I'm like, oh my god, Kendra, like, how do you get out of this? And her out of it was like, well, you can be with me or not. I'm gonna have this baby, and I'm just
Yeah.
gonna, and that, I think that was the realest ever. It was like either you take me pregnant from somebody else, or
Or
you haul
yeah.
ass.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
meant what she said.
Yeah. He was like, no, 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 I'm staying. He couldn't take no more.
God, it's like it hurt him so. And then the fact that he didn't know where she was, that was
hmm
another thing that really bothered him. And then the betrayal. Oh, it was just so much going on in that book.
It was that book. That book was wild. I'll admit that.
That book was wild. It's like every time you got something figured out, here you go. I'm like, oh my
And then you got
god.
technical, which was much calmer in the middle between those two books.
Yes,
It
yes,
was,
it
it was,
was.
it was
And
very low angst.
I did like how Stevie, she went into labor on his porch,
hmm
and him being he's so naive. Everybody's telling him, why are you trying to get with somebody just had a baby, but he
Yeah,
couldn't stay away from her. That was like a genuine connection. She
yeah,
didn't do anything extra. He just could not stay away.
Yeah, he was just
And then when
intrigued.
she named the baby after him,
Yeah.
and everybody thought he was crazy.
Hmm.
Oh
They were so
my god,
sweet, though. They were a sweet couple.
they were. So you
Yeah.
did put a little comment in between it. It just well, I think with the golf with the hockey series,
Mhm.
I think you started off calm and then you just shot up.
Well, it's just each. I try to make each story different. I try to make it unique to the couple as unique as I can. I am the one writing everything, so that
Hmm.
it stands to reason there will be similarities in my books as one person's writing them, but I do try to make them stories individual to the couple. So I hope each one feels different. Is what I'm going
Yeah.
for.
Yeah,
So
and then even though you changed sports, it wasn't the same storyline. Like I didn't every story, and that's kind of hard to do as an author.
yeah.
Change your tropes, change what character you're gonna rate. Are you gonna be a male character or for a male
Hmm.
perspective or from a female
Yeah.
perspective, and you do it so well. But
Thank
like
you.
you
I
said,
try.
it takes practice, and that's
Yeah,
what you've been
it's not
doing.
easy. It's definitely work.
It's not.
It definitely takes some thinking. I do think I'm very much in tune with the characters, and I kind of
Hmm.
let they take the lead. The characters and the story kind of takes the lead, and I just pretty much do what they say. I do make some decisions. I do know like it ain't gonna be but 3 books in the series. I know that. Um, I pick names and stuff like that. But when I start writing, I don't do outlines or anything. So when I sit down and start writing,
Oh.
the story just comes and comes and comes and comes. And sometimes it comes slow. Usually I have to once I hit about 10,000 words, it kind of just goes after that. But sometimes I often say it's like driving it in the middle of the night in the highway, no street lights, one headlight and no map, and I don't know where I'm going. That's the way. You got to be real slow. That's how it feels when I first start because I don't prepare, and it probably would help to prepare. And I have tried, but the characters be like, "That's cute. That's a cute little timeline, baby. This ain't what we doing." So I mean, I'm glad you exercise your brain making that outline, but that's no, we're not doing that. So even at the end of Flagrant, I had a beta reader that was in tears about that ending. She was so upset. I said, "Well, wait, let me think about it. Let me think," because she was so upset.
uh,
And I tried to change it. It just would not work. It just did
yeah.
not feel right. And I told her, I said, it's got to be this. It just doesn't feel right. It can't be any other thing. And she said, okay, I understand. I understand. She was so upset.
I was so mad at you. I'm like, I'm so mad at you.
Yeah, yeah. I know. I get a lot of people. I mean, they were hot. This ain't no romance novel. How is this a romance with an end like this? I was like, dang, okay, I'm sorry.
Wow. What
I mean, I
was
ain't gonna change nothing, but okay, I hear
yes,
you.
right? Because when I was complaining, you was like, okay, boring. That's what you taught me, boring.
Yeah, like no, that'd been so boring. And it would have been a boring ending if they just got. I said, no, that no. He got to get a little of a lick back. He got to.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So what was right now? What was the most fun you had writing a book?
honestly, it's another one that people get mad at me about. This Be With Me on Nicole Strickland's book. That was so
Oh,
much fun. I had so much fun
strictly.
writing that book. But
Okay.
folks can't. Some she does have some fans. She does have
Mm-hmm.
some fans. But by and large, folks are hot at Nikki Strickland. But
I
that was
know.
fun. It was fun. But what for one, I love their story,
Mm-hmm.
how they were as kids and everything. I liked that Nikki just didn't give a damn. I love that about her. I mean, even the people mad at her, they just mad because she don't care. And the fact that they were both nerds, they were into things that I like, uh,
Mm-hmm.
anime cons, comic cons, and all that kind of stuff. I like that stuff, so it was fun to write about it. So yeah, man, I had so much fun writing that book. I was really shocked when I first put it out, and
Mm-hmm.
some of the reviews was like 2 stars. I was like, "Whoa, wait, wait, wait!" I can't stand Nikki. Nikki, it's like she's cheating. She's cheating. It's cheating. This one warning cheating. So I was like, okay, she's a whore. She said, I'm like, she was a whore, but one and two. What y'all thought she was gonna be? It's
They
the
thought she
same.
was gonna
It's the
change.
same hoe. She's a hoe.
Not the same.
I mean, when I write these people, they are people to me. So she wasn't gonna all of a sudden become somebody different in book 3. This is
Mm-hmm.
who she was. Of course, and she did change to be with him and all this stuff. Child, then nobody, she couldn't be redeemable in folks' eyes. They were so hot about her cheating. Why is she saying coochie? I mean, they were just mad about anything. What kind of romance novel is this? What would Bridget Jackson say? Damn, I ain't trying to write like her. I'm trying to write like me.
Me, exactly. You
I
are
mean,
you.
and no disrespect, she's the queen. I'm not saying that.
Mm.
I'm not trying to write like anybody else. I got some backlash about that. I was like, dang, I thought I did a good job.
So,
And I guess I did. That's why
do you
everybody.
read reviews? You
Mhm.
actually read your reviews?
Back then, I did. This was still kind of at the beginning of the career because the Stricklands came right after Love After. So Love After was my first series, then the Stricklands.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Stay With Me is kind of where things started taking off. And so
Yeah.
where I started like getting a lot of reviews. So yeah, I would go through. I will say this. I might read I'll see what's going on when it first comes out. I still do that. I might go and see what the star rating is. I don't necessarily sit and read them, but back then
Mm-hmm.
I would. And honestly, if you just put a book out and all you see is you got a 2-star average, I'm trying to figure out what happened. So yeah, I did. I'm like, damn, two, you
And
know.
it's crazy, and I hate when they do that because you mad at the character, you taking it out on my reviews. Like, if you mad at the character, that mean I wrote a damn
And then
good
I
book.
did a good job. And then when I read what they were saying, I said, "Oh well." I mean, I ain't gonna go back in and rewrite the book. So they, I'm not. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but I don't know. Okay, it wasn't your cup of tea, and you know that it's okay. It doesn't. When you first starting off, it will bother you more than it doesn't.
That's
I
what I
mean,
heard.
everybody's entitled to their opinion. I appreciate you purchasing the book. I appreciate you reading it. You made a purchase. You have more than right to leave a review, and that's fine. If you don't like it, there's some things that a lot of people like that I don't like. I get that. Popular doesn't always mean good to people. So
Right.
that's fine. I mean, I had a friend buy a book for me, tell me it was so good, babe. I couldn't get past page 1. I didn't know what she was talking about. She raved about that book, and that book is very popular too. And I was like, well, I'm not the target audience, and that's okay. So if I can get something not like it, other people can get mine on, and that's cool. But yeah, that time it threw me off because I was getting them back to back in the beginning of it had just been released. I was like, my average is 2 stars. Like, come on now. It's like a 75,000 word book. Y'all, you could find a few that you liked. So yeah, but now I'll look and see what the rating is, and I'm like, okay. And I'm not even because I release on my own platform first. I'm not going
Yes.
to do a bunch of reviews anyway. Now that I
Mhm.
like I would like the McLeans have all those reviews, but it's because they've been in Kindle Unlimited forever, number one, and because they never were on my platform. So if I keep it on my platform for a month, of course I'm not going to get a lot of reviews once it gets to Amazon. So that's something I'm willing to sacrifice. So I
Yes.
I don't have an emphasis on that in my mind anymore.
Yeah, that's where I buy them when they got bound to you, and I put them on my Kindle. But
I appreciate
um,
that.
I would. Who do you think besides her? Is there a character you loved and people hated, and you like? What did I go wrong? Like, why do I hate this person?
No, I think Kendra too. And I'm not saying they hated Kendra, but so many people were mad at her. They were so angry at her, and it kind of broke my heart that people would be so angry at her, knowing what
Mm-hmm.
she'd been through in life and what she'd been through, and even the one person that was kind to her, Polo, still was betraying her. And the fact that they would be so much angry over what she did one time versus what he did for like 11 years. That I was like, that's not balancing out. It kind of goes back to men are y'all think it's okay for men to do this stuff?
Yes, to
Can't do
redeem
it?
themselves.
So
and,
it
and
kind
it,
of, I was
oh
disappointed in the reaction to what Kendra did rather than, I was
oh,
like, dang, y'all upset about that, but he did. Yeah, no, he didn't get anybody pregnant, but he could have, or he could have brought a disease, anything. He did it constantly for years. She did it one time. So
since you say it like that, I feel so bad now. Cause I remember she stopped traveling with the team because he left her in the hotel room to go be
yeah,
with another woman. And oh my God, Kendra, I'm sorry. I'm
yeah, she
sorry,
went through a
Kendra.
lot. She went through a lot
She
from,
did go through a
her
lot, and not
hero even
only
let
with
her down.
him, he he knew
He
what
was a
she
hero,
went
but he
through
let her
in
down in
life.
the end because of how he was
Yes,
raised.
yes.
So
Oh my God! Wait, let's talk about that. Where his mama shot his daddy.
his mom was crazy as hell. Now she was fun to write.
Oh my God! And it was the fact that they would like literally got to the point where she shot him and she went to the hospital with him and was
I'm
in
gonna
his
tell
room
you.
making sure he was good.
I'm gonna tell you what
Bruh.
Ken will be on that audio book because I always listen to the. I That's how I get to enjoy it because I don't read it 7 million times, but when I get to listen to
Mhm.
audio, it's a different experience for me. Boy, when she called home and said, when she called from the hospital, talking about he said, "You ain't in jail?" 'Cause no, boy. He confused because he trying to figure out how she ain't get arrested. Why would I go to jail? Yeah,
Oh my God.
this is the way Jacoby did it.
I'm telling you, Jacoby bring them things to life. It was
Yes.
hilarious. I promise. Because the first time I said, wait, she like really took a good, like really shot him. And then called the ambulance. And then like was the
I thought he was
doting
cleaning the gun.
cuss.
He said, he was cleaning the gun and accidentally shot himself. And he said twice. Yeah, boy, twice. She was hard. Don't question me. He was genuinely confused.
That oh my God, bro. When I
Oh,
say that joke was so
she was wild. His mama was wild,
yes, she
boy.
was. So
Oh
then, I
man.
mean, he was raised, with two crazy ass parents, and then her the abuse she went through with,
Yeah.
and then when you find, oh my God, I'm so sorry, Kendra, I'm so sorry.
See,
When you,
y'all just wiped everything out.
yes,
Transgression. Y'all forgot what this one
one
girl had gone
one
through.
little mistake she made, and I wrote her, Kendra, I'm so because when she found out that the pastor was her birth father
Hmm.
and that her dad found out her mother cheated on him and that she wasn't his daughter. She wasn't his daughter, but his sister was. So he took the sister and
Yeah.
left her to be raised by this. This the thing, you throwing it all around town and you got a nerve to be having me going on fasting and telling me my
That's
flesh
how
weak and
they be. That's how they
oh
be.
my
That's how
God.
some of them folks
Yeah.
be.
I'm so sorry, Kendra. I am.
See, I'm so glad that I could bring the light of Kendra to you.
Yes.
Yeah,
She
that
did,
that disappointed me. I was like, oh, I didn't
she
see it
did
coming.
suffer a lot. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Kendra, I'm sorry. He is a piece of shit and he deserved it. I'm just gonna be honest. At first, I felt that, you were wrong. But when you think about it, he tried you and he knew what you've been
Yeah.
through. Have another one on him, Kendra. That's my have another one.
Have a collection.
Yes. Go with his coach this time.
Oh no.
You got a teammate, now it's time for the coach.
Oh.
Oh,
And
that would be
when I
epic.
came up with the idea, my son said, "Oh, mama, no, not the teammate, mama. Don't do that. No, she don't need to have no baby by the teammate, mama." And so his reaction told me she needs to have a baby by the teammate.
Oh my God! And so Eric, so basically, you were on the in a island up by yourself. You was the only person. I love
Yeah.
that you went. Now I think about it, I like that you went against the grain.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kendra. It should have been next time the coach. But we hopefully
The general
he learned his
manager.
lesson.
Get one of his
Yeah,
bosses.
hopefully, learned the lesson. So, it shouldn't be a problem because he was hurt. He
Yeah.
was hurt,
Hmm.
you know. But I did before we go. I wanted to, with the hockey team. I like how, you know, they came together. Like he was a fan of hers, and it's crazy
Hmm.
because you don't really see men being, big fans of the female rappers, but he
Hmm.
was a fan, and then how he would stare at her. Everybody knew he liked her, and I like that she was the first to call.
Yeah.
I like that. That was so sweet to me. I'm like, oh, so she gonna set it off. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. She a boss with that coochie juice. So she
Yes,
had.
that title took me out. I say somebody got to stop her.
Listen, the
Somebody
stuff
got to
I be
stop
coming
her.
up with, and then I run it by my oldest, and she be like, "Mama."
And your lyrics to go with it. I say somebody got to stop her. It won't be
How
me,
you like
but
your coochie
somebody.
juice?
Somebody. Oh
Man, that was fun. It was writing the
my
lyrics was fun. I had a ball writing the lyrics for.
god.
I made them as ignorant as I could. I really
And it
did.
was bopping. And Wesley was, hey, Wesley had us,
Look, she was
you
getting
was
it.
ready. Yes, she was. She was wrapping up. She did a great job on that
She
narrating.
did.
Cause
She
yeah,
did.
I loved it. But
Yeah.
the last one was the hockey series. I first of all, y'all know I've already expressed that my favorite series was the basketball. I love that over the McLeans.
Yeah.
Even though my favorite book, Flagrant, was a spinoff from the McLeans, so they still get their shine.
Yeah.
And Leland was actually my favorite when I made the McLean, so that made that book even more special to
Yeah. It's
see
his
see
teammate. Yeah.
them getting along with the family, him embracing his brothers and sisters,
Yeah.
falling in love with them after not wanting to be a part of their lives. That
Yeah.
was really really a good. I can't say that one. They're really really good,
Hmm.
but I did like the hockey series, and I'm looking forward to this dark romance because I promise we were just saying not enough of our authors
Yeah. That's what I
writing
try
and
to do. I try to look. That's why I did the hockey. Because I knew there weren't
yes.
many black on black. I know there's some interracial, but there weren't many black on black hockey books. So I said, well, let me see. Let me try. Like I said before, it's like a challenge to me to see if I can do some of this stuff. So the dark romance, I just had been wanting to do one. And originally this series wasn't supposed to be that. But when I started writing, I said, yeah, I think this is what I want to do with it. So
Oh,
yeah.
really? Oh,
Yeah, I had it
I was
all.
different.
I had actually planned what I would. That's part of the problem. I planned it. I had I planned what they were going to be, and then I looked at what I wrote down. I said, "No, I ain't gonna do that." So,
Went against the grain. You went against yourself.
hmm,
Oh, well, I mean, it ended up perfect storylines to me.
yeah,
I really liked it, and the female rapper, and that's the thing. The female rapper with the hockey star. That was I liked it that. I liked them two
yeah,
together, and she was out. I never read about an albino character before.
yeah.
Not a
I
lead.
try to. I want uh, my sisters to see all of us to see ourselves in the
Yes,
characters. So,
yes.
because all of us deserve love and all of us get it. I mean, I ain't listen. I ain't never lacked penis, so size don't matter. I know some men that knock a skinny woman over to get to me. So men have
Hmm.
preferences, and women have preferences. So
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, because you go, they can be a Coke bottle figure, then they can be plus size, and they can be
mhm,
skinny. You do, the men change too. You don't
yeah,
have the same type of man. So I love it, but that's just the kind of author you are. You take us there with your writing, but with that being said, I know we're coming to the end for this interview, but I know you're gonna do two events this year, and
hmm,
your house party next year.
Yeah.
I have a serious question.
Hmm.
Have you thought about taking your books to Tubi or to any platform?
Absolutely. I would love that. Absolutely. I even wrote a little screenplay. I didn't enjoy it. Don't know that I'll ever do that again. I'm going to pay somebody. But uh, I was like, I'm too old. I'm too old to be relearning. So,
Mm.
but I did it, and they say it was good. But yeah, absolutely. That would be in my mind, it'd be the logical next step is for them to end up on some screen. So I'm hoping anybody out there listening.
Let's go. She's ready, and hopefully they can start with the character they hated with the 2 stars. You really see
But
that's
you
how
know,
you do it. You throw it in their
oddly
face.
enough, when that book got to Audible, it did really well. Everybody liked it. Maybe,
Cause it's a good book. It
yeah,
is, and I think people just they didn't want the ending and the beginning and the middle of what you wrote because, like I said earlier, the way you throw them monkey wrenches in our program, I don't think nobody expects it. And it's like even if you think you will throw something in there. You like wow, like BDSM, but with him being a submit, it's just
yeah.
things you do that just it
I try
completely
to do the
just works.
unexpected. I think you would
Yes,
expect the man to be the dominant, so I just try to do the unexpected. I really do.
yeah.
So I hope I
And for her to be called sir,
now
sir.
I'm gonna have to give credit where credit is due. Joan Masters gave me that idea,
What?
and at first I said because I was trying to think of what he should call her, and at first
Mm-hmm.
my and this gonna be so corny. My first thought was Coach, and she said, "No, not Coach." I said, "Well, I don't want Madam, or I don't want the regular thing. I need something
Mm-hmm.
different." She said, "Sir." I said, "What?" She said, "Sir," and I said, "So I ran it by my son-in-law." And he said,
Mm-hmm.
don't do that. Don't do that. And I said, okay, yeah, that's it. I mean, it upset him. No, don't do. No, that's bad. That's you emasculated.
Wow.
I said, okay, I'm gonna do that. And so I had to give her credit. She came up with "sir," and the more I thought about it, and after my son-in-law's response, I said, I'm gonna do it and see how it works. Now, what I was concerned about was whether Jacoby was gonna do it. I worried that he would get the book and be like, I'm not reading this. And so he agreed to do it. I didn't tell him what it was. And once he finished, I said, you still He's all, y'all liked it. I said, okay.
Yes. Woo, sir. And then I promise it had me one. I wanted a chain. I'm like, dang, I should get a chain.
Yeah, now I have people look at it. For a while they would post pictures of somebody with a choker. Not
For
here.
real. And the fact that his mentor knew is that like oh she collared you. I'm like oh my god, it was just you know what, we'll be here all night. I'm going. It's like you like again every time I think I done got somewhere in the book. Here you go with this. I'm like, well Jesus. I
Man,
was not expecting that. I really was not expecting that. But man,
I'm
I
glad.
think your artistry right now is in a league of its own. I
Well,
love
thank
reading.
you. Thank you.
Reading,
I write to entertain myself. I like to think. I like to exercise my brain. When
hmm
I read, movie, anything I'm doing, I want it to challenge me mentally. So that's why I write the way I write.
Okay. Well, I enjoyed our talk.
I did too.
I can't wait for your next installment. I'm ready. I'm
Thank
gonna probably
you.
be in your inbox counting down, but I'm ready. And
Okay,
just
June
thank you.
18th.
I will be there, and I'm gonna tell Val because we was looking forward to a dark romance. So that's where
Okay.
we'll start. Well, thank you for entertaining us tonight, Miss House. We really enjoyed you.
Thank you for having me.
Good night.